Hello, my name is Brittanee Glise, and I am a mental health ambassador for the St. Francis Gala. I am involved as a mental health ambassador for the St. Francis Gala because I personally was raised different in a different culture, what some may know as a cult, from the time.
You're okay. Just take a minute.
From the time that I was 3 to 16. So when somebody thinks of a cult, they might think of all bad. It was my whole life, so it was everything I ever knew. And I wouldn't say it was all bad, it was just a different culture. And so with that, I see the world very different because I was only exposed to what I know as the culture that I live in now when I was 16 years old. It just gave me exposure from a very early childhood of connecting with people who see things very differently. Coming into this culture, it was really difficult for me, honestly, to understand, and even with, a biblical background and coming into this and trying to understand even who I was as a person and what I stood for, what I believed in. Obviously, we had been shunned from the group when my parents chose to leave. I'm the second oldest of 7 children. So there was a lot of us. When my parents went in, they gave everything they had. When they left with 6 children, soon to be 7, not a dime to their name. If you can imagine everything that you've ever known dying all at once, that's the best way that I could put that to you, of what it felt like. So I look the same as you, I sound the same as you. My understanding of life was very different from yours. And then we had Braxton. And so very soon after having him, his dad just kind of showed that he was not interested in being there for Braxton. As time progressed with raising Braxton, I faced a lot of difficulties with him from early childhood. Very early on, I actually took the first year off of work to be with him and raise him. Social and emotionally, he really, really struggled. He was completely suicidal at the end of 3rd grade. I promised him to do whatever it would take to get him help. And so I began looking across the whole U.S. of what I needed to do to get my son help. He was 9 years old at the time, and we were able to enroll him in a different school. And at that point is really when we began involvement with Jeff. From there, he's seen him for almost 2 years now and worked through this process. He was seeing Jeff and really making substantial progress in coming to understand who he was, kind of sort through the problems and not blame himself. He had internalized so much, and he was a child who he would talk to me, but he really struggled opening up with anybody else. And that's one thing Jeff has helped him so much with, is just to be honest with himself, to not take accountability for other people's choices and mistakes or blame for them, and to know who he is as a person and be okay to stand up and say what he believes. He struggled a lot through what he experienced even within the school district, which makes me sad. Makes me sad that it's taken years and we're still going through. Obviously, we're still seeing Jeff for therapy, but we're still going through other things to help him recover from, obviously, just the damage, I think, that was caused. So I personally, what I do now, I have my own early childhood learning center, and I hope to continue to grow that. I'm business partners with my sister, and so she actually helped set up the whole program through Mosaic for Sisters of Solace. And we hope to partner together and continue to grow business as far as with with that early intervention, because I believe that that is important. So that is currently what I am now spending my time doing, is working with littles. But as far as just, honestly, I would give a shout out to anybody who works in mental health, and just tell them thank you, because it takes a special kind of person to have the heart, to help people the way that they do.